In my never-ending quest to punish my existence, I decided to beat Elden Ring without using any runes. That means no leveling up, no weapon upgrades, and no buying items from NPCs. Yeah, this is gonna suck. If you're watching this video, subscribe. Most of my viewers aren't subscribed, and that's kind of a bummer, man. Alright, let's get started. One of the most important choices in this run is my starting class. My starting levels are what I'll be stuck with the whole run. I end up going with the Vagabond. My main thought process is that 15 Vig is the highest of any starting class, and I'll have some items to boost my other stats to wield weapons or get more damage or whatever. So I feel like just having the high Vig makes this the best option. Now I begin my journey by collecting a bunch of items. First off, this girl shows up and offers me a Honda Accord.
I offer you an Accord.
But I end up with a donkey, which seems like a scam. I then kill Bernasty for some armor and murder Alex for his shard. Next, I grab the Physic, Dectus Halves, and Radagon's Ball. Now I'm ready to game. Time to fight everyone's favorite murder hobo, Margot. I'm still using the Vagabond starting sword for this fight because it has square off and that's a busted Ash of War. It does good damage and a couple of hits makes him stagger, which lets me do even more damage with Rapastas. Murder Hobo goes Super Saiyan for phase 2 and gets some nice shots in on me. Like a lot of shots. So many shots that I run out of heals and health, but that's okay. I just reach deep into my horrifically damaged brain and remember how to press circle to dodge. Then I clutch the fight. Nice. I mean, didn't die to Margit. I think we take that. It's a good start. I pretty much rush immediately into Godric after beating Margito. I can't use runes, so it's not like I need to spend any time leveling up or looking for smithing stones. Luckily, Godric is an S-tier scrub who needs his big brother to protect him. Since I already dealt with that, this fight is pretty easy. I do get a bit intimidated when he latches an actual dragon head to his arm, but it turns out he still doesn't know how to fight. So I clean his ass up. Bang. 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 Then I do some light teabagging to establish dominance. Once I've finished off the Jerking King, chat tells me to kill Gostock. So I do that because I am unable to resist peer pressure. I'm now on to Liurnia. While I'm here, I grab the key to Hogwarts. I also go up the Dectus lift so I can collect some seeds for more heals. I then put on Radagon's Sword Seal so I can use the Uchi Katana I picked up earlier and make my way into the Nerd Castle. I find a funny cat, and I was a bit scared, but even with no levels and no weapon upgrades, the cool anime moveset of this sword is simply too powerful. I'm actually impressed by the damage here. I figured there would be a lot more struggle in the early game, but I had underestimated the power of anime. There we go. Now it's time to fight my queen. But first, there is Moongrum, and I beat him in a perfectly legitimate and epic battle. Ah. Aight, Foot Queen time. Beating up the children in phase 1 is always easy and a good time. Phase 2 though? Not a good time, man. And especially not when chat gets involved. My chat has the ability to spend their channel points and ban in-game actions. So naturally, when I get close on this attempt, they ban healing. Ban using flasks. Oh, I'm sure that won't be a problem. Surely that won't be a problem. Yeah, that looks right. For a large number of channel points, they can also reset a boss fight. So they did that on my next attempt. Reset the boss fight. Alright. God damn it. I realize now the best way to avoid this problem is to kill phase 2 as fast as possible. So I decide to go in and absolutely cook. Screw dodging, I am simply running forward and swinging my blade. Sometimes the best way to avoid getting hit is to simply hit the boss more. A strange strategy, I know, but clearly effective. Oh my god, I am fucking disgusting, dude. Holy shit! What was that? Where'd that come from? I am built different today. With that cleared, it's time for the next boss. But first, I need a parry shield. With that in hand, I make my way to the big dragon horseman. Now I could spend 15 to 30 minutes fighting him the normal way, but that seems lame and boring. Instead, I decide to try and parry him to knock him off the cliff. Oh. Fuck. And it goes pretty poorly for me. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say it isn't a skill issue and is simply a parry issue. And by that, I mean I need a better parry. So I head off to go get Golden Parry. Unfortunately, the Scarab here teleports and I have no idea where it goes. I try to throw 2 kukris at it, but it teleports too fast for that to work. So I need more damage. I murder a knight for Golden Vow and then grab Flame Grant Me Strength. I turn in some Death Root for a seal and then get the Faith Talisman and Ruler's Mask for enough faith to cast my buffs. Then I get sneaky. I creep around, cast my buffs, and finally charge the Scarab. Bang! Better parry acquired. So after an hour of doing that, I get to return to DTS. I lure him to the edge and he decides to be a prick. Instead of attacking me, he spams fireballs. It's like he knows what I'm about to do to him. Why do you suck? There we go! Hell yeah, dude! That is how you turn a 15-minute boss fight into like an hour and a half long project. That was beautiful. With that done, I make my way into New York and grab 2 of my favorite items. The Ritual Shield Talisman for a good defense buff, and the balls. Now it's time to face off with my boy, Gerald the Piss Ghost. I got my balls out and my new talisman on, and I'm feeling pretty confident about this one, chieftains. Or at least I was feeling confident until chat banned dodging. One guy banned dodging. Alright. Luckily, action bans only last a minute, so I basically just run from Geralt here until the ban is up and return to the fight. And there it is, 1 minute ago. We are back. The balls are dummy OP, so even though I'm doing no damage physically, I am spiritually destroying my enemy. Spiritual damage doesn't equate to much in-game though, and this fight does take forever. So I'm gonna need to find something better for future fights. This damage is not gonna cut it for the rest of the run. And bang! Suck it, chat! You can't stop me! No dodging? Doesn't matter. I'm a fucking speed demon, baby! So, I'm off to find more damage. I get Craigblade for a damage buff on my balls, and add an Icy Attunement so my balls will apply Bleed and Frost. With my extra damage sorted out, I make my way to Big Mordecai. If you don't know, Frosty Balls are one of the most broken weapons to grace the lands between. And it shows here. Mordred is on the back foot as I keep slapping him around with my freezing balls. I would normally feel bad abusing this weapon with these status effects, but to be honest, my ethics are going to be thrown to the side for this run. I can't level up or upgrade any weapons, so I'm going to need to find the most busted builds I can to get this done. And that ruthless thinking pays off here as more Hamina finally falls. There it is. Let's go. Frosty balls, baby. Now it's time for Big Daddy Radonsky. I'm still rocking the balls, and this is the first fight that gave me a hard time. Like a really hard time. Luckily, my father shows up and offers words of encouragement.
You're getting disowned for the night.
With those words ringing in my ears, I roll into my next attempt. For this run, I envision myself as Mike Tyson, but not like current hippie mushroom-eating Mike. More like ear-biting, coked out of his mind Mike Tyson. I run at this dude relentlessly, pounding him until he flees and tries to do me like I'm the dinosaurs. But I am superior to the dinosaurs, and that won't work. Phase 2 is more of the same. I keep backing this guy up with my superior boxing knowledge, and he simply takes the hits. Dude has an iron chin, but even the strongest chin can't get hit forever. There it is. Hell yeah, dude. Oh, just took the luckiest bleed of all time. Fuck morals. I only bleed in frost. With all these bosses done, I now can make my expedition to the big man. That's right. It's time for the biggest feat in Elden Ring. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't have much to say about this fight. I tickle his foot until he decides to rip it off, which is a bit of an overreaction in my opinion. Although I suppose me hitting him with these balls probably feels like he's stepping on Legos. So I guess I get it. I want to cut off my feet after I step on Legos too, big man. Anyways, phase 2 is more of the same. I abuse the balls and try to hit his eye and eventually get the luckiest bleed proc ever seen to finish the fight. Let's go! Oh my god! I was so not ready for that. I thought I had so much more fight left. Now I need to set up for Farum and my next couple of bosses. First, I go and murder a sleeping old lady so I can get 5 dragon hearts, which lets me get rot breath. But Mr. Streamer, you don't have the stats for rot breath. I know. Give me a second. To meet the arcane requirements for rot breath, I head down the Radon hole and beat the shit out of myself to get the silver tier mask for +7 arcane. To meet the faith requirement, I already have the faith talisman. But I need one more level to use rot breath. So I go to Stormvale and kill a creep for his shirt. This shirt gives +1 faith, so I can now spew the plague at my enemies. I then am an accessory to arson, which sends me to a weird floating island castle where I encounter a fat guy and a skinny guy. Most likely a couple, possibly brothers, unsure of their relationship at this time. My plan for this fight is to rot the godskins, then flee like a coward. But after a couple of tries, I decide I should probably go get my 4th talisman pouch from Round Table so I can make my build a little more coherent. And I'm about to be really disappointed. Why she no give me talisman pouch? Because I burned tree? Oh, I think you get it from the twin maidens if she does that. Oh no. Oh, did I fuck myself? Yeah, I fucked up pretty bad not picking that talisman pouch up earlier. For the rest of the run, I can now only run 3 talismans. Joy. To at least give myself a little boost, I grabbed some golden seeds for more flasks. I also get the Misericord since utilizing parries and ripostas is a good way to get chunk damage in this fight. Hopefully with a bit more damage off of ripostes, my attempts will get better. Or not. Okay, there's still plenty of strategies to test. It's fine. I decide I need another incant to get easy bleed procs, so I'm going to get Swarm of Flies. I grab Bewitching Branches and go to fight Nile. I could get to Mogwin via Vari's quest, but that's gross and I'll have to fight Nile eventually anyways, so I branch his consorts to make them fight him and then begin parrying him to death. And it goes really well. What an easy fight. Oh no. No. Without my magic sticks, this fight is a lot harder. These banished knights suck with no levels and weapon upgrades. I guess it's time to learn how to actually do this fight. To do this in the easiest way, I have to learn how to parry the knights. There's a shield knight at the Dragon Communion Church, so I practice on him till I feel like I got the parries down. Then I head to Farum to practice parries on the dual-wielding Menace. Now I head back to Nile with a bit more confidence and a plan to ascend as a parry god. First, I deal with the dual-wieldy boy since he's by far the more threatening of the 2 ghosts. Once I get him, I move on to the shield guy. His parries are a lot easier, and I get past him pretty quick. Now it's Nile's turn. I'm so lucky I learned to parry this dude on my last run. I decided to use a Frost Morningstar for parries here as well. My thought process was simple for that. Status effects are great, and with no weapon upgrades, this fight would take a long time without him. I can also parry Nile pretty quickly in succession, so I don't have to worry about statuses resetting. Finally, after like 24 parries, I managed to murder Nile and get my Haligtree medallion. I quick go back to Liurnia and murder Dumbledore to get the other half of the medallion to unlock the Mystery Elevator. To get to Mogwin Palace, I need to fight the annoying Sanguine Noble NPC. Or, I can just run to a cliff and trade out my life for his. Much simpler. I now finally can get Swarm of Flies to bleed the Godskins. Wait, hold on, actually I need more Arcane to use it. So, I also stop in Sophia River to get Marika's Source Seal, and now I'm ready to ball on the duo. I test Swarm of Flies, and it does okay damage and procs pretty quick, but the Rot and Bleed alone simply aren't enough. After getting my ass handed to me, I decide to rest and try again the next day. Day 2 starts off pretty badly, like just not good at all. I decide to try and find more puzzle pieces to augment my build. I grab a ton of seeds because I feel like I'll need more blue flasks to finish the fight. I also go to Round Table and get Rajir's Rapier, which starts at +8 and has the Glintblade Failing Sash of War, which I think will be good for some more damage.
Nope.
Never mind, that's hot rancid garbage. My bad. Alright, maybe the Tree Sentinel Shield will be good. That reflects spells and could turn the fireballs into punish windows. Okay, nope, never mind. I'm starting to run out of ideas. I do equip the Icon Shield and Deathbed Dress now. This fight is super long, so passive healing is pretty useful. I just don't have enough damage right now to finish the fight. I'm crutching on Rot and Bleed only, but their resistances get too high for me to be able to proc my status effects. Parrying is too risky with my low health, so I go to find anything else that could possibly help me get this done. First, I grab Trina's sword, which will allow me to get sleep in if I need it. Next, I go to fight Loretta. God, this is so easy. I was starting to think I sucked at the game, but fighting Loretta changes my mind. Like, a 1v1 fight is easy peasy. Foreskin Duo is just cheese and a stupid fight. Once I've beaten the Horse Girl, I pick up Chilling Mist for some frost damage access. Then I go to Weeping and pick up Poison Mist. I also grab the Black Wet Blade and Int Talisman while I'm grabbing stuff, just so I have more damage options and can use the Sleepy Sword. Time to test the damage. I now have Rot, Poison, Frost, and Bleed that all can be cast at range. I sleep the Godskins and give it a go. Holy shit, not bad. That's actually pretty beefy. It's also already been 4 hours in day 2, and I'm pretty over fighting these guys already. So, time to rest. I'm sure I'll get this tomorrow. Day 3 starts off with a pretty good attempt. I mean, I've been here for almost 10 hours now. Yeah, 10 hours. You think it would be getting better. I still have a little more I can add to this build, so I go to do that. I max out my flasks and get the Dragon Communion seal. This seal will buff my bleed and poison buildup, as well as the damage my rot breath does when it hits the enemy. This seal does not buff the actual poison and rot damage ticks, but that's okay, I'll still take it. Now it's time to get good. I literally can't think of anything else to get more damage. This has to work. Alright, I'm still getting dumpied on, but after a few more attempts, I get a good one going.
You're honestly an idiot. I don't know what's wrong with you.
And that's where I decide to end day 3. Day 4 is just throwing my head at the wall. I die over and over and over again. And finally, 15 hours in on this boss, I crack. What if I did a try where I leaned forward? What if I promised to never kill another Elden Ring boss? Then would you let me have it, game? What if I just actually gave up? What if I became fatty? What if I intake so many calories I become fat in order to live his experience? What then? Perhaps I would have the knowledge contained within his head about when they're going to fuck me. Maybe then. What if I got even skinnier? Became true skinny? Life is a fever dream, and I'm barely living it. What if I ceased to exist? What if everyone simply forgot my existence, like I had never been born? I sacrifice my existence. What then? Then would you stop fucking me, game? Yeah, come here. Get in my clouds, brothers. Stinky cloud good. Yes, stinky cloud. Yes. I fucking love it. Oh, he went back to the stinky cloud. He ain't poison though. Problematic. Fuck you. Stay away from me. What if you didn't do that? How about that? What if we were friends? You have fat skinny, but you're missing small. I could be your small. I wasn't even watching the health bar. I was just bargaining with the gods. I don't know what to do anymore. And that's it for day 4. It might be time to give up. Yep, it's been 5 days, aka almost a week, fighting the same damn boss. In total, I am at 17 hours spent trying to fight or problem solve this boss. I am in hell. But today, I am refreshed and ready. A calm has entered my body, and I have finally accepted that it is what it is. After losing my mind the previous night, it feels as if nothing can touch me. Mentally, I am now a fortress. In the last 5 days, I've really refined the strategy as well. The goal, first and foremost, is always Rot Breath. This spell does the most damage and carries the fight. From there, I use my Poison Mist to double up on the status damages. I wait for Fatty's roll, and when he does that, I get to Frost him, then use Swarm of Flies, which resets Frost, and then I apply Second Frost. From there I run, and rot, and poison again. I have 14 blue flasks, so that I can maximize my damage. Fuck reds. On some of my previous close attempts, I had run out of flasks. I am fully committed, dialed in, and cooking. Alright, we got the rod again. Unironically, the run is looking good. I don't think he's poisoned. That assumption appears to be correct. Now's where we need to just chill out and play the game. Alright, that should finish him. Okay, this could be it. Just gotta be careful. Getting some poison down would be nice too. I got the poison. This should be it. Please, God. Yes! Yes! Oh! Let's fucking go! Fuck you, bitch! Yes! Oh, I'm free! I'm fucking free, dude! Ah! 17 hours and almost 300 deaths later, I finally have conquered the Godskin duo. Now that I'm finally free, I decide to collect a few items before going on to my next boss. So, I go to the Shaded Castle, take a left, ball on an NPC, and acquire the Ant Spur Rapier. But it has a high dex requirement, so I can't wield it. That means it's time to fight Easy Nile. Well, fight is a loose term here. I ain't putting up with any more tomfoolery, so I lure him to his death in the rot spouts around his arena. This gets me the Golden Needle, which lets me heal Millicent for the Dex Talisman so I can wield the Rot Sword. What boss is next, Mr. Ratty? Well, the logical choice is Malekith, so obviously we will be doing Placidus Axe. He gets my ass a few times, but as I said earlier, my mind is now a fortress and I have achieved inner peace, so this simply doesn't affect me. The goal for this fight is simple. I use the balls to rip a stagger on him and then pivot into the Black Flame Tornado. I got this from the duo, and it does some exceptional damage to this big old boy. After that, I try to get off Rotten Poison. I put the Poison Attunement on the Ant Spur Rapier so it does both, making my life much easier. And with that, I have optimized the Degenerate Damage build. I have Poison Abuse, Rot, Poison, Bleed, Frost, and Black Flame all in one fight. This is what Elden Ring looks like when you abandon morals and embrace the cheese. And honestly, it looks pretty good. It's crazy how much damage you can achieve without spending runes. I'm honestly impressed. This is gonna be close. Oh, let's go. There it is. Getting the Dragusi, baby. Hell yeah. With Placidus Axe done, I go gather some artillery, namely Bloodflame Blade and Great Stars. With those, it's time for Rudolph. I use Bloodflame on my Great Stars and get to work. And it is slow, like really slow. Luckily, deer is easy to dodge, but this is not going to be the best way to do this. So I wait for a stagger, and once I get it, I hit the tornado again. And that looks a lot better. I start getting in some good damage until the deer shoots off his heel. Oh my god. Yeah, this is a pain in the ass. 10 minutes later, I have whittled his health down over the course of several more heals, and finally have him where I want him. Bang! Deer's dead. I now venture to the good doggo, Malekith, and I really do him dirty. We start off with Rot and return to the balls once it's procced. The more I use this combo, the grosser I feel, but unless I want fights to be 30 plus minutes long, I'm locked into these weapons. Phase 2 comes quickly, and I have a shocking announcement. I have finally gotten good at Malekith. Shocking, I know, but something finally clicked, and I now understand his combos a lot better. And that is quite the blessing, because even with my crazy status effects, this fight still takes forever. Unfortunately, his death is inevitable, and a final frost proc cleans him up. There it is, hey. I'm now on to the final gauntlet of the main game. I have a plan for our next boss, Gideon, who's normally an atrocious fight in low health and low damage runs. I simply acquire Frenzied Burst. But I can't wield it due to the 22 faith requirement, so I also have to grab the faith tier. And now it's time to give Gideon what he deserves. You know, for a guy that is all-knowing, this dude doesn't understand spacing at all. Yeah, the damage and madness buildup on this spell are great, but honestly, the real benefit of using it is being too far away for the spam lord to hit me. It feels good to put this Reddit user in his place. It's all good in the hood. Adios, Gideon. Dope. And we made Gideon not a problem. Beautiful. Alright, back to more degeneracy. Godfrey, the first ex-husband, is getting poisoned and rotted, and then I'm gonna ball all over him. He eventually realizes a fistfight is the best way to handle this and becomes the absolute dog Horaloo. This is a much better fight. He still gets poked and becomes diseased, but once I've done that, it's actually a fistfight. Time to settle into the subtle rhythm of this fight. Okay, hit fast forward. This takes like 10 years. Finally, I hit the frost proc and Horaloo finishes early. That wasn't too bad. With that, I have one boss left in the main game. Ginger and the Big Fish. And this one took a while. Yeah, it wasn't going so great. I'm gonna blame learning how to use Black Flame Tornado on Elden Beast for this one. Radagon wasn't that bad. It's just the usual endurance fight that takes forever. But I have shockingly never used the Tornado on Elden Beast. It was weird to learn the timings for it because it is a really long attack. And even though the fish is slow, it ain't that slow. Still, seeing the dummy thick damage numbers, I knew I had to figure out how to use it. Any other options aren't going to be even close to comparable. So I had to suck it up and learn another new strat for this run. Woo! That's the main game done. Time to clean up the rest of my Remembrance pals, and then I'll be free. Soon, America. But first, I must clean up the shitters. Estelle is next on the menu, and I tried a couple of things here. I murdered a guy for the Alabaster Lord Sword, since it does extra damage to Estelle. Not enough extra damage. I naturally then tried some combos of the balls, Ant Spur, and the Tornado, but honestly the balls don't have enough reach. Estelle moves too much for Ant Spur procs, and Black Flame Tornado is too slow. So, time for something new, I guess. I go and get Rock Sling and the Meteorite Staff. Then I grab the Arrow's Reach Talisman for more range on my spells. I murder a Crystal Crab, which gives me the Carlos Glintstone Crown for more int to wield my stick and rocks. Finally, I go test out my rocks by murdering an int, so I can have the Opaline Bubble Tier to survive a hit from Estelle. Then I return to Space Anal Beads to see if this new plan will work. I mean, I guess that's fine. Throwing rocks from a distance is a weak-ass way to do this, but Estelle's AoE ground slams were a problem, so I guess this is a good solution. It takes quite a while to get through this health bar with the low damage, but I'm not at risk of getting hit, so I got all the time in the world. The meteorite attack would be a problem, but I found that simply running left tends to make this a non-issue. Now, I have to clean up the last bits of the health bar, and boom, we're done here. I didn't think I'd use any sorceries in this run, so I'm still kind of surprised that worked. Rykard is up next, and I decide to stick with the cheesy degenerate theme I've built in this run. I block with a shield and spam R1 with the Serpent Hunter. If you didn't know, this lets you hit Big Snake Man super fast. And boy oh boy, I can't believe I haven't tried this sooner. It's broken. Even a fully upgraded Serpent Hunter doesn't burn through him this fast. I'm starting to realize between this and all the parrying I've done in this run, that shields may actually be kind of busted. A couple more spammy hits, and Snake Boy's down. Now we skirt into the Deeproot Depths to take on the Zombie Dragon Fortisax. But first up is Fia's Chumps, and this is hella annoying. It's not bad, but I basically have to run around and do drive-bys to get off damage. I keep getting close, but this test of endurance is getting the better of me. Time to adjust the game plan. I just need something small here to give me enough of an advantage to finish the fight. So, I go and activate Godprick's Great Rune. This gives me +5 in every stat, so I have a little more damage and a little more health. And sure enough, once I do that, this fight gets just a bit cleaner. Nothing really changes fundamentally, I'm still just kiting and doing drive-by hits, but that buff gets me through to the end of the fight. Now it's Simp Dragon time. Alright, this next one is just a really boring fight. I apologize for that, and I'm gonna blame the poor design of this boss as a whole. I am literally just running and poking legs here. There is nothing interactive about this for me. He gets rotted and poisoned, and honestly I just keep doing the same thing. 0 out of 10 boss fight, would not recommend, just kill Fia. Alright gang, we are approaching the end, just 2 bosses left. First up is the Moglester. I start off getting really close. I have the right strat, I just need to not get fucked. Moog is a simple man, and his moveset reflects that. Phase 1 is just a lot of dodges and ball slapping to get me to Phase 2. Phase 2 did require a little strategery. My big issue here was Moog healing so much that I essentially had to go through his second health bar. So I resorted to degeneracy and poked him with my disgusting ant stinger to give him all sorts of illnesses. This negates a lot of the healing he does and brings the fight back to a little more equal footing. Once I've given him all the sickness, we're back to the same fight as before, but he cuts off the arena with his bloody fires. This used to annoy me, but I've come to appreciate how this fight forces you to be very conscious of your spacing. And with this low health, I really can't afford to mess that up. However, I am almost a professional at doing this fight with low health, and in this attempt, at least, I do a good job of not stepping in the stuff that can kill me. Finally, I get a stagger and my Riposta Frost Mogo, sending him into his version of the afterlife. Hopefully hell. The Frost Clutch! Got ice in my veins and my balls. Mostly ice in my balls. There is now but one final boss left before I have completed my challenge. The Rot Winch. I'll spare you the death montage, but just know, I tried long enough to get comments like this. I think it's enough Melania for today. There's no such thing. Yeah, chat was over it, but on God, this is the one fight in this game I've actually gotten really good at. Look at this dodge. Yeah, try that, you nerds. For this fight, I'm using the Great Stars with the Cold Infusion. I'm doing less than 100 damage per hit, so I do really need the status effects to do most of the heavy lifting for me. Now I'll cook one last time. Yes! There it is, baby. Oh! Fucking finally. Oh, it's done. Oh, I didn't spend a single rune. Let's go. Oh, it is done. I've beaten all the important bosses and Fortissacs in Elden Ring without spending a single rune. That took forever. If you enjoyed my pain, check out some of my other videos on screen now. Anyways, until next time, be good, be kind, adios.